pain touches all of our lives, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental. It's a universal experience. But suffering, that's where we have a choice. Today, we dive into one of the Buddha's most profound teachings. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. This simple yet powerful truth holds the key to overcoming life's challenges, with grace and resilience. In this video, we'll explore 4 chapters that break down this quote, offering practical insights and tools to help you navigate pain and transcend suffering. Stay until the end. You'll discover how to embrace life's difficulties without letting them define you. Chapter 1. Understanding Pain, the Universal Constant. Pain is a thread that runs through every human life. It doesn't discriminate. It touches all of us in one form or another, whether it's physical pain like an injury or illness, or emotional pain such as loss, disappointment, or heartbreak. It is something we all inevitably face. This is what the Buddha described as dukkha, a Pali word that encompasses not just suffering, but also dissatisfaction and the inherent challenges of life. But what exactly does it mean that pain is inevitable? Let's break this down. Imagine the arc of life itself. From birth to old age, from the first cry of a newborn to the struggles of aging, pain is woven into our existence. A child falls while learning to walk. A teenager faces the sting of rejection. An adult struggles with the responsibilities of work, relationships, and health. Even joy often carries the seed of pain because it is fleeting and tied to impermanence. Take a moment to reflect on this. Pain is not a punishment or a failure. It's a natural and inevitable part of life. It is life reminding us that we are alive, that we are vulnerable, and that we are constantly changing. Pain acts as a signal, a teacher that pushes us to grow and adapt. It's not the pain itself that breaks us, but how we respond to it. Now, think about the physical experience of pain. If you touch something sharp, your body recoils instinctively. The pain is a warning, a way for your body to protect itself. Emotional pain works similarly. It signals that something in your inner world needs attention. Perhaps it's unresolved grief, unmet expectations, or the fear of loss. In today's fast-paced and hyper-connected world, pain has taken on new forms. The stress of deadlines, the sting of comparison on social media, or the ache of loneliness in a crowded room. All these are modern reflections of an ancient truth. Pain is not just physical, it is deeply tied to our mental and emotional well-being. Here's where we must pause and ask, if pain is universal and inevitable, why does it feel so overwhelming at times? The answer lies not in the pain itself, but in our relationship to it. Many of us resist pain, wishing it away or trying to numb it, but resistance only amplifies its intensity. To truly understand pain, we must first accept its universality. Instead of running from it, we can start to see it for what it is, a natural, necessary part of the human experience. By doing so, we take the first step toward lessening its grip on our lives. Chapter 2. Breaking the Cycle, Letting Go and Embracing Impermanences. If pain is inevitable, what about suffering? The Buddha's teachings make a profound distinction. While pain is a natural part of life, suffering is created by the mind. It is our resistance to pain, our clinging to what we desire, and our rejection of what we don't want that perpetuates suffering. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack. The longer you hold on to it, the more it weighs you down. Pain is like the backpack. It's there, unavoidable. But suffering, that's choosing to carry it forever, refusing to put it down even when the burden becomes unbearable. 1. Clinging and resistance. Let's start with clinging. The human mind often latches onto what feels good, and resists what feels bad. We chase after fleeting pleasures, hoping to hold on to them forever. Whether it's a relationship, a job, or a material possession, the fear of losing these things creates an undercurrent of anxiety. At the same time, we resist the inevitable pains of life: loss, change, and uncertainty. Instead of accepting them as part of the natural flow, we push back, creating friction between reality and our expectations. This resistance intensifies the pain, turning it into suffering. Consider the example of a breakup. The pain of separation is natural, but clinging to the past, replaying memories, regretting words left unsaid, or imagining alternate outcomes prolongs the agony. Resistance to moving on traps us in a cycle of suffering. 2. The role of impermanence. A cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom is the principle of impermanence, or anicca. Everything in life is in a constant state of flux. Seasons change, emotions rise and fall, and even the strongest relationships evolve. Embracing this impermanence is the key to breaking free from the cycle of suffering. But why is this so hard? Because we want permanence in an impermanent world. We desire guarantees, happiness that never fades, love that never changes, and circumstances that always go our way. When reality doesn't align with these expectations, suffering emerges. Picture a flowing river. Trying to control the flow of water by gripping it tightly only leads to frustration. But when you let the water flow freely, you begin to see its beauty. Life is the same. Accepting its impermanence allows us to flow with it rather than against it. 3. The practice of letting go. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. Instead, it means releasing our attachment to outcomes and allowing life to unfold naturally. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice, a skill that grows with time. Mindfulness meditation is one way to cultivate this practice. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you start to notice how often your mind clings to the past or worries about the future. Over time, you can train yourself to let go of these thoughts and bring your attention back to the present moment. Another practice is gratitude. By focusing on what you have rather than what you've lost, you shift your perspective from lack to abundance. Gratitude anchors you in the now, breaking the habit of clinging to what once was or could have been. 4th, real-world application. Let's take a real-world example. Imagine losing a job. The immediate pain is real. It's a significant life disruption. But suffering arises when you resist the situation, replay what went wrong, or cling to an idealized vision of the career you thought you'd have. Instead, embracing impermanence might mean seeing this loss as an opportunity for growth. What new doors might this situation open? What skills or passions can you now pursue? Letting go of the resistance allows you to step into the present and focus on the possibilities ahead. By breaking the cycle of clinging and resistance, we begin to liberate ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Pain still exists, but it no longer dominates our lives. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to go beyond simply avoiding suffering and step into a life of fulfillment. By nurturing inner peace and cultivating a deeper connection with the present moment, we can discover what it means to live with purpose and wholeness. Chapter 3. Embracing Wholeness: The Path to Inner Fulfillment. The Buddha's teaching, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional, is not just about avoiding suffering. It points to something deeper: the possibility of living a life of inner peace, balance, and fulfillment. While avoiding unnecessary suffering is crucial, The true transformation comes when we cultivate practices and mindsets that bring us a sense of wholeness. 1. Recognizing the illusion of lack. At the root of much suffering is a sense of lack, a feeling that we are incomplete or missing something. This could be a desire for material wealth, approval, or achievements. But Buddhism teaches that this sense of incompleteness is an illusion. Imagine trying to fill a jar with water when the jar has a hole at the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it never feels full. This is what happens when we look to external things to fulfill an internal void. The key to wholeness is realizing that the jar was never broken. Our perception of lack comes from looking outward instead of inward. Through mindfulness and self-awareness, we begin to see that everything we truly need, peace, love, and contentment, already exists within us. The practice of turning inward helps us reconnect with this truth. 2. The power of the present moment. Fulfillment doesn't come from chasing an ideal future or clinging to a perfect past. It comes from being fully present in the here and now. The present moment is where life happens, where joy is found, and where transformation occurs. Take a simple activity like drinking tea. If your mind is racing with thoughts about work, relationships, or the future, you miss the subtle beauty of the experience, the warmth of the cup in your hands, the aroma of the tea, and the calming sensation of each sip. By anchoring yourself in the present, even the simplest moments become opportunities for joy and connection. To practice this, try mindfulness exercises like focusing on your breath or engaging in a walking meditation. These practices train the mind to stay present, helping you experience life as it unfolds instead of getting lost in mental noise. 3. Cultivating compassion and connection. Another path to inner fulfillment lies in cultivating compassion, not just for others but for yourself as well. When you treat yourself with kindness and forgiveness, you create an inner environment of peace. Compassion extends beyond the self. When you connect with others through acts of kindness, listening, and understanding, you break down the illusion of separation. The sense of wholeness grows as you realize that we are all interconnected. For example, when helping someone in need, you might find that your own worries momentarily fade. This is because acts of kindness shift your focus from self-centered concerns to shared humanity, creating a deeper sense of fulfillment. 4. Gratitude as a practice. Gratitude is another powerful tool for embracing wholeness. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you create a mindset of abundance. Gratitude shifts your attention from scarcity to sufficiency, helping you recognize the richness of your life. Start a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things each day that you're thankful for. These don't have to be monumental. Simple joys like a sunny morning, a kind word from a friend, or a quiet moment of reflection are all worth noting. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to seek the positive, fostering a deeper sense of contentment. 5. Finding meaning through purpose. Finally, true wholeness comes from living a life aligned with your values and purpose. This doesn't necessarily mean a grand, world-changing mission. It can be as simple as showing up authentically, pursuing what you love, and contributing to the well-being of others. Ask yourself, what brings you joy? What makes you feel alive? What small actions can you take today to align your life with these answers? By living intentionally, you create a sense of purpose that fills the void many people feel. Bringing it all together. Inner fulfillment is not a destination, it's a journey. It's about recognizing that you already have what you need to feel whole and learning to nurture and connect with it. By letting go of the illusion of lack, staying present, cultivating compassion, practicing gratitude, and living purposefully, you create a life that feels deeply meaningful and complete. In the final chapter, we'll bring everything together, exploring how the principles discussed can guide you to embrace life fully and navigate pain with grace. Stay with us as we conclude this transformative exploration. Chapter 4. Applying the Teachings, Living with Clarity and Grace. The wisdom behind the phrase, "pain is inevitable, suffering is optional," is most impactful when applied to daily life. It's not enough to understand these principles intellectually. Their power lies in practice. This chapter focuses on integrating these teachings into your routines and mindset, transforming your life into one of clarity, purpose, and grace. 1. Developing emotional awareness. One of the most effective ways to minimize unnecessary suffering is to cultivate emotional awareness. When you're faced with pain or discomfort, pause and observe your emotions without judgment. Imagine this. You're stuck in traffic and feel frustration bubbling up. Instead of reacting with anger or impatience, try naming the emotion. I feel frustrated. By doing this, you create space between yourself and the emotion, reducing its control over you. This practice, rooted in mindfulness, allows you to respond to situations with intention rather than react impulsively. Over time, this emotional clarity extends to more significant challenges in life, from conflicts in relationships to personal setbacks. 2. Building resilience through meditation. Meditation is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice because it trains the mind to remain calm and centered, even in the face of challenges. Regular meditation helps you observe your thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them. Picture a stormy sky. In meditation, you learn to see your thoughts and emotions as passing clouds rather than permanent states. The sky, the essence of your being, remains vast and unchanging. This perspective helps you navigate difficulties with resilience, knowing that the storm will eventually pass. Start small, dedicating even 5 minutes daily to meditation. Focus on your breath or a calming mantra. As you build this habit, you'll find that life's turbulence affects you less, and you become more grounded in the present moment. Conclusion. Pain is a teacher, guiding us to growth and resilience. Suffering, however, is a choice we can step away from. The Buddha's wisdom reminds us that while we cannot control the waves, we can learn to surf. The next time pain arises in your life, ask yourself, am I adding to this pain through resistance or clinging? And remember, with mindfulness, acceptance, and non-attachment, you have the power to transform suffering into peace. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need these words. And as always, take small steps each day toward your inner peace.